A guy from New Zealand came to America, didn't know how oval tracks worked, and somehow ended up fifth in the NASCAR Cup Series standings. It is the kind of unbelievable story that completely subverts all expectations, leaving lifelong veterans scratching their heads as an absolute outsider comes in and rewrites history. So, how did this happen? How does a driver with zero background in traditional American stock car racing step into the most competitive motorsport in the country and immediately start fighting at the front of the pack? The narrative truly began to take shape during an amazing weekend at COTA, where he showed the entire garage that his inaugural street course victory was not a fluke. He entered the weekend with a quiet confidence, knowing the road courses were his bread and butter, but the sheer level of his dominance was the wildest of surprises. During the O'Reilly Series race, he pushed his car to the absolute limit, putting on a perfect clinic of car control that left the fans in awe. But what made this victory even more compelling was his battle with a 17-year-old rising star named Brent Cruz. Instead of brushing off the teenager, the veteran showed immense respect, acknowledging that Cruz was fighting just as hard as anyone else on the track. He gave a highly honest and grateful post-race interview, praising the young driver for his cheeky moves and realistic approach to racing against the heavyweights. It was a moment of pure sportsmanship that broadened the narrative, proving he was not just here to steal trophies, but to elevate the competition. Then came Sunday, and the stakes were raised to an entirely new level. He was chasing an unbelievable piece of history, looking to tie Jeff Gordon and his record for consecutive road course victories to start a career. The tension in the air was palpable as he strapped into his machine, ready to face off against the absolute best in the business. The race quickly turned into a high-stakes drama, with cars sliding out of control and drivers desperately fighting for every inch of asphalt. He found himself locked in a fierce battle with Tyler Reddick, a driver known for his aggressive style and incredible car control. They charged into the corners side by side, trading paint and pushing the very limits of grip. He dove deep into the braking zones, using his unique right-foot braking technique to stabilize the car while others locked up their tires. The crowd was on its feet as they chased each other through the twisting circuit, navigating through spins and minor crashes that brought out multiple yellow flags. Every time a caution bunched up the field, he had to defend his position during a frantic 5-lap shootout, relying on his precise footwork and unparalleled vision to stay ahead. He drove with a crazy amount of focus, surviving the chaotic restarts and crossing the finish line with a performance that truly cemented his status as a legitimate threat. But the true test of his skill was not going to be on a road course. The real question everyone was asking was how he would handle the traditional oval tracks. Then came Phoenix, and the entire NASCAR world was watching to see if the New Zealander could adapt to the high-speed corners of a 1-mile desert oval. What followed was perhaps the most wild and chaotic race of his young American career. Early in the event, he struggled to find the rhythm, dropping back in the pack as he tried to figure out the nuances of the track. The race was marred by multi-car crashes and unpredictable handling issues, with veteran drivers losing control and slamming into the outside wall. Suddenly, disaster struck. A brake rotor exploded on a car right in front of him, sending debris flying across the track and causing a massive pileup. He tried to avoid the carnage, but his car was clipped, resulting in a blown tire and significant right-side damage. It looked like his day was completely over. He limped back to the pit lane, his car heavily damaged, and his chances now of a good finish seemingly destroyed. But this is where the underdog triumph truly shines. His crew worked frantically to repair the damage, taping up the aerodynamics and changing the tires just in time to keep him in the race. He rejoined the field multiple laps down, facing an impossible climb back to relevance. Through a combination of sheer willpower, perfectly timed cautions, and an incredibly lucky free pass, he somehow clawed his way back onto the lead lap. From there, he drove like a man possessed. He navigated the chaos with the precision of a surgeon, dodging wild spins and wrecks as the laps ticked down. While drivers with decades of oval experience were making mistakes and falling out of contention, he was methodically picking them off one by one. In the closing stages of the race, another massive crash brought out a late yellow flag, setting up yet another chaotic restart. He lined up deep in the field, but when the green flag waved, he launched forward, finding grip where nobody else could. He simply used a left-foot brake technique that baffled the spotters, allowing him to carry unbelievable momentum through the center of the corners. He surged through the pack, crossing the finish line in an astonishing 11th place. The garage was absolutely stunned. Going from a damaged lapped car to nearly a top 10 finish on an unfamiliar oval was nothing short of miraculous. Respected industry figures immediately took notice, validating his incredible drive. On his weekly podcast, Kevin Harvick expressed pure awe, stating that running 11th after that much chaos was a better run than most guys who have been doing this their entire lives. Jeff Gluck echoed that sentiment, dropping data that highlighted how rare it is for a newcomer to fully recover from such severe damage on a flat oval without losing their composure. Ryan Blaney even chimed in, noting the mutual respect among the drivers for a guy who can survive the wildest crashes and still manage his equipment well enough to secure a solid finish. It was the ultimate contrast between the newcomer and the lifelong racers, proving that his talent transcends track types and technical backgrounds. He did not just survive Phoenix. He conquered the mental battle of the oval tracks, proving that his earlier successes were not merely the result of favorable road course layouts. This truly incredible journey from an unknown outsider to a respected contender has completely flipped the script on what is possible in modern stock car racing, showing an amazing capacity to learn, adapt, and overcome the most chaotic circumstances imaginable in the pursuit of true automotive greatness.